Good afternoon, students. In the unit 3, Laws of Motion. In the last class, we discussed in the vehicle on a leveled circular track. So, in the leveled circular track, we have discussed two cases. That cases are one, if the vehicles are in the safe turn, and the other is the vehicle is going to skid. Here, in the banking of tracks topic, we are going to see in the leveled circular road only the skidding case. So, in that skidding, how the forces are effective on this skidding. Okay, so now we are going to discuss the topic banking of tracks. So, in a leveled circular road, skidding mainly depends on the coefficient of static friction, mu s, you know that. The coefficient of static friction is mainly depends on the nature of the surface or nature of the road. So which has a maximum limiting value. So avoid this. Usually, did you see the road's edges? The outer edge is raised when compared to the inner edge. That I will show you in the picture later. So this changes, that is the difference in the road edges, is called as an banking of roads or banking of tracks. And these two differences make an inclination. That is the inclined angle is there. And that angle is called as an banking angle. So, you know what is banking of tracks? The outer edge of the road is slightly raised compared to the inner edge. That is called banking of road or banking of tracks. And this introduces an angle, that is the banking angle. Now I will show you the picture. So see this diagram. In this diagram, you see the edges, okay, and here the two edges, that is the outer edge is raised slightly than the inner edge. So these two edges make an angle theta. Okay, so the surface of the road make an angle theta with the horizontal surface, and that is the banking angle. And then see, one more arrow is there, that is in the blue color, that is nothing but our normal force. And that normal force is also make the same angle with the vertical side. Okay, so one is on the horizontal side and the other, the normal force make an same angle with the vertical side. When the car takes a turn, there are two forces act. What are the two forces? You know that if it takes a turn, two forces. One is a gravitational force, that is mg, always acting downwards, and the normal force n, that is perpendicular to the surface. And here we can resolve the two forces, that is the normal force can resolve into two components. What are the two components? N cos theta and n sin theta. See in this picture, this normal force is make and two components, and that components as n cos theta and n sin theta. So the component n cos theta balances the gravitational force, that is downward gravitational force mg, and the component n sin theta provide the centripetal acceleration. So by using the second law, we are going to make this n cos theta and n sin theta. So the two resolving components n cos theta is equal to mg, and then the n sin theta is equal to the centripetal acceleration, that is mv square by r. So by dividing the equation, we get an tan theta, that is n sin theta by n cos theta, n get cancelled, and then sin theta by cos theta is nothing but tan theta, and we are substituting the values, that is mv square by r by mg, and that r will come down and get cancelled, it will become v square by rg. So v square is equal to rg tan theta, v is equal to root of rg tan theta. So this is our value. So the value of the speed we have find out it. So the banking angle theta and the radius of the curvature of the road or the track determines the safe speed of the car at the turning. So here, if the speed of the car exceeds this safe speed, then it starts skid outward. But the frictional force comes into the effect and provides the additional centripetal force to prevent the outward skidding. At the same time, if the speed of the car is little lesser than the safe speed, it starts to skid inward and the frictional force comes into the same thing. There also the frictional force comes into effect, but there it increases the centripetal force. Here it reduces the centripetal force to prevent the inward skidding. However, if these two cases it reduces, that means the frictional force is come into the effect, and so in one case it reduces the frictional force, centripetal force, and the other case it increases the centripetal force, whatever they did. But if the speed of the vehicle is sufficiently greater than the correct speed, then the frictional force cannot stop the car skidding. So it only determines by the speed of the vehicle. So if the vehicle having more speed than the correct speed, definitely it going to skid. That's why on the rainy seasons they are giving the instructions on the traffic going slow. That means if we are going slow on the rainy seasons, there will be more friction. Then if you are giving more speed, if you are going on the bike more speed, definitely the vehicle is it's skidding. It's skid. So the speed only determines the vehicle skidding. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss the problem related with this topic. That is the example problem number 3.25. Consider a circular road of the radius 20 meter banked at an angle of 15 degree. With what speed a car has to move on the turn so that it will have surf turn. So we have to find out the value of V. We know the formula, that is V is equal to root of RG tan theta, and what are the values has to be given here. Radius is given and the angle theta is given, and we know the acceleration due to gravity is a constant value. So with this value we are going to find out the V value in this. So the value of we are going to find out. V is equal to Rg tan theta. R is equal to 20 meter and G is equal to 9.8 meter per second, and tan 15 degree. You know how to find out the tan 15 degree. In your book, the last pages, you are having the natural tangents. So go to that page and you are having the natural tangents from 0 to different values, and that you have to find out the 15 value. Okay, so that is tan 15 degree. You will get 0.26 as a value, and then we are going to find out that in the that means we are going to substitute that in the formula, that is V is equal to root of Rg tan theta. R is 20 and G is 9.8, and then tan theta is 0.26. So you are going to multiply, and the multiplied answer is root of 50.96, and then take a root of 50.96, you will get 7.1 meter per second. So the safe speed for the car on this road is 7.1 meter per second. Understood how you get this one? Next, we are going to see the next topic, that is a centrifugal force. So centripetal force we are already discussed. It is towards at the center, that is it's having the origin. So circular motion can be analyzed from two frame of reference. One is the inertial frame. Inertial frame means whether it is at the rest or the uniform motion. There the Newton's law are obeyed. Other one is there, that is the rotating frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference. There it is accelerating. So we are examining that the circular motion from this frame of reference, the situations are entirely different. Here you see the two different pictures, that is one is a centripetal and the centrifugal. So centripetal is, see this, it's towards the center. That is, see the second picture, the red arrow indicates centripetal force is always with the origin. Okay, so see the centrifugal force, it is outward. So this itself, it's no, we have to know that the two different forces. So centripetal To use the Newton's first law and the second law in the rotational frame of reference, that means the non-inertial frame of reference, we need to include a pseudo force that is called centrifugal force. Centrifugal force appears to act on an object with respect to the rotating frames, that is non-inertial frame. To understand the concept, you have to make one example, that is, consider the case of wheeling motion of a stone. I'll show you the picture. See this picture, wheeling motion of a stone tied to a string. Assume that the stone has an angular velocity of omega. So in the inertial frame, now it is at the inertial frame, that is at rest. If the motion of the stone is observed from the frame of reference, which is also rotating along with the stone with the same angular velocity omega, then the stone appears to be at rest. This implies that in addition, inward, that is, the centripetal force is inward force, that is towards the center, means it's an inward force. So we are taking that as minus m omega square r. There must be equal and opposite forces acts on the stone, and the stone outward with the value of plus m omega square r. So the total force acting on the stone in the rotating frame is equal to 0. One is inward and the other one is outward. So one is positive and the other one is negative. So both will be equal to 0. So the word centrifugal means flee from the center. That is, it is not sent towards the center. That is, it's not depend on the origin. That is the main thing. So note that the centrifugal force appears to act on a particle only when we analyze the motion from a rotating frame. With respect to the inertial frame, there is only centripetal force which is given by the tension in the string. For this reason, centrifugal force is called as a pseudo force. Pseudo force means there is no origin. It arises due to the non-inertial frame of reference. So see the next diagram, you understood. See this. So a man tied a stone. So the two different forces are acting. One is the centripetal and the other one is the centrifugal force. So it is not towards the origin. That is, they are told. Okay. And when the circular motions problems are solved from the rotating frame of reference while drawing free body diagram of a particle, the centrifugal forces should necessarily be included. So see the force here. So m is equal to v square by r, that is f is equal to m omega square r by omega square r by r, that is f is equal to m omega square r. So what mainly here the given thing is centripetal force is towards the origin, that is origin dependent, but the centrifugal force is not origin, is not having the origin, that is no origin. The centrifugal force has no origin, that's why it's called as a pseudo force. It's always in the non-inertial frame. Centripetal force is in the inertial frame.